Hi, I'm Crystal Manuel and I'm running for Leduc City Council. Firstly, I want to apologize for not being at the forum on September 29th. The date ended up conflicting with a prior work contract that had been in place prior and long before the forum was scheduled. As the owner of my company, I had the contractual obligation to fulfill, and unfortunately that meant that I could not attend. I want residents to know that it was not about a lack of commitment to Leduc. It was me honoring my professional responsibility. I'm here to listen, and I'll always make myself available to those who have questions, and I will listen to your concerns. So as I said, my name is Crystal Manuel and I'm running for Leduc City Council. I grew up in Alberta, and after years of raising my family and building businesses in Edmonton, I chose to put down roots in Leduc because I wanted a safe, family-focused community with the opportunity for growth. The city has given me so much, and now I want to give back. I bring over 2 decades of experience as a business owner and an accountant, along with the skills I've developed as a CEO of an international pet transport company. I know how to manage complex budgets, balance priorities, and make tough financial decisions while still protecting what matters the most. I also bring perspective as a mother and a community advocate. I am the founder of Brooklyn's Backpacks for the Homeless. I've seen firsthand where our city is thriving and where it needs strong support. What I offer to Leduc is accountability, practical problem solving, and a commitment to making our city more affordable, safer, stronger for families, seniors, youth, and small businesses alike. To improve the quality of life in Leduc, I will focus on the basics that matter the most to the residents. That's going to be safe and clean parks, accessible recreational spaces, affordable community programs. Families should have activities that they can afford. Seniors should have places for them to stay active, and youth should have places for positive spaces to spend their time. Quality of life isn't about those flashy projects. It's about making sure our daily living environment feels safe, welcoming, and supportive to those who live here and visit. I want Leduc to be a place where the young don't feel like they have to leave to build their futures. That means encouraging small businesses, attracting employers who create good, stable jobs. It also means expanding the youth programs, building a youth center, adding an additional skate park where young people can connect, learn, and thrive. I know from raising my own kids in Leduc that we need to give them the opportunity and support. And if elected, I will work to ensure that our youth see Leduc as a place to stay, grow, and succeed instead of having to move away and have their families here as well. So our seniors built this community, and they deserve to age with dignity and support. I will focus on creating more affordable housing options that suit their needs, improving transportation so they're not always stuck at home, and ensuring the social programs that keep them active and connected are in place. Isolation is a real concern, and I've seen this firsthand through my own work and how damaging that can be. Supporting seniors isn't just about the healthcare, it's about making sure they feel included in our community life. Growth in Leduc is inevitable, and it needs to be managed responsibly. We need to make sure new developments don't outspace our infrastructure. Things like roads, waters, emergency services have to be kept up. At the same time, housing needs to stay affordable for families and first-time buyers. That means supporting a range of housing options from rental to single-family homes. I want Leduc to grow in a way that's sustainable, that supports our long-term future, and that keeps our city livable and affordable. My goal with taxes is to reduce the burden on residents while keeping our essential services intact. I don't believe that raising the taxes every time costs go up is efficient. We need to run the city more efficiently by cutting waste, finding savings in operations, and creating new streams of revenue. If we're strategic and accountable with spending, we can ensure that the vital areas like policing, parks, and community supports are funded properly. The opioid crisis hits home. I travel for work, and I have seen this across our country and across America as well. It's not just a local issue. We need to put 2 things in place. We need basically prevention and accountability. We must partner with provincial and federal governments to find better recovery programs and resources for those struggling with addiction. On the other hand, we also need stronger enforcement and tougher penalties for those trafficking these dangerous drugs and releasing people on a continuous basis who should be held accountable for their actions. This is about protecting our community while also offering hope in a way that will help those who actually want it. I strongly support diversity and inclusion in Leduc, but I believe the focus needs to be on action and not symbolic representation. Unfortunately, things like Pride sidewalks are often vandalized and cost us as taxpayers money to repair these. While I'd rather see those funds go towards programs and services that directly support the LGBTQ community with like youth programs, safe community spaces, and inclusive events. To me, it's not about supporting diversity. It's about making sure people feel safe, valued, and included in everyday life. Through my nonprofit, Brooklyn's Backpacks for the Homeless, I have seen firsthand how serious the homelessness is in Leduc. Addressing it requires both immediate action and long-term planning. In the short term, we need to ensure these people have access to food, clothing, and safe shelter. For the long term, we need to work on affordable housing, programs to help them regain their stability, things like job supports, addiction recovery, and mental health services. The issue is not going to get solved overnight. We all know this, but with the right balance of compassion and planning, I think that we can not eliminate the homelessness problem, but reduce it and have more supports in place. Working on council is about teamwork. While we won't always agree, I will respect and collaborate with them no matter what. My focus will be on solutions that benefit the residents and not political disagreements. I believe in open communication, listening, and different viewpoints. But we all need to find a common ground. And that common ground at the end of the day is about serving the people of the Duke. I'm not here to push personal agendas. I'll be bringing a respectful, cooperative approach to every discussion and decision that we make as council. Transit is an area where I think Leduc can do better for seniors, youth, and residents without vehicles. Reliable transit's essential. We need better scheduling. We need more accessible routes. And we need to ensure that the costs remain affordable. That's the big thing. I'll be advocating for improvements to make public transportation a real option, not just for something that looks good on paper. We are approaching 50,000 people here in Leduc. I do believe that we need a full transit system. I've worked closely with people who rely on social services, so I know how important it is. Leduc has great nonprofits and organizations already doing this work, but they need more support. Council should partner with these groups, not duplicate or compete with them. We need to strengthen the social services so that we can help families, youth, and seniors and vulnerable residents access the resources that they need. This is a quality of life and a safety issue I've heard from many residents. We need to reduce speeding and noise in our neighborhoods with practical solutions. This includes better enforcement, traffic calming measures, or smarter infrastructure design. Families deserve to feel safe with their kids in their neighborhoods when they're outside or walking to school. Growth means more demand on infrastructure, roads, water, emergency services, healthcare, everything like that. But I don't believe that means we should automatically raise the taxes. I believe that we can balance the growth with infrastructure needs by being smarter with our spending and our planning. Cutting waste, finding efficiencies, and prioritizing projects will help us meet infrastructure demands without overburdening us taxpayers. My approach will always be to put you residents first while making smart, sustainable decisions for Leduc's future. The recent lawsuit should be a learning curve for everyone involved. Mistakes were made, but what matters now is accountability, transparency, and preventing issues like this in the future. We must own our missteps. We build the trust with residents and focus on learning from experience so it never happens again. I believe in strong leadership, and that means facing challenges directly, taking responsibility, and committing to do better moving forward. We all know the costs are rising. We all know people are struggling to put meals on their tables. And it's easy for the governments to pass that burden on to us as taxpayers. I don't believe that's the answer. My approach is to balance the budget by cutting waste, prioritizing essential services, and finding new ways to generate revenue. By focusing on efficiency and accountability, we can protect these services that residents rely on without having to put more strain on families. Fiscal responsibility is key to keeping Leduc affordable and sustainable in the future.